Mr. Femi Falana dropped the case against VDM. Nigeria is on the verge of fire. Okay, fearless in October, protests are coming and people are going to speak their minds and you cannot stop them. Those of you eating from the presidency, you know yourselves. Mr. Falana, tell the young people, the Gen Z people who are around now, and even the millennials, tell them what happened in the 90s when the EFCC would raid and take cars and houses from Yahoo boys. They still do it. Cars and houses are the main things that the Yahoo boys had when they were raided. Mr. Falana, we criticize the EFCC of selling the cars to the parastatals. Let me make that in simple English for people watching. Anytime the EFCC seizes cars, those cars are evidence of how you're going to prosecute the people you seize them from. Because some of those cars were purchased with the money they made, and some of those cars were Tokumbo cars that were literally brought to Nigeria after scamming someone online. I did the story about the car theft ring in Canada in 2007. When these cars come in, Mr. Magu, former chairman of EFCC, was actually selling these cars to the other ministries. That's the parastatals. You seize a car from a Yahoo boy, you are now selling it to another government agency to be using it as official cars. For example, if I'm a Yahoo boy or girl, and you now seize the car from me, you're supposed to park that car in EFCC premises while my investigation is going on. Instead, you liquidate the car and you sell it to the Ministry of Health for the employees to be riding around doing business for the ministry, going to meetings. That is not how it's supposed to be. Mr. Tinubu, President Tinubu, needs to crack down on all this. This was what Mr. Magu was doing, and that's one of the reasons they removed him. Even during Bawa administration, the same thing was going on. Selling proceeds of Yahoo boys, especially cars, to parastatals. Now let's go back to Femi Falana. Mr. Falana, when Nuhu Ribadu of the NSA was the chairman of the EFCC during the 90s, the spokesman for the EFCC is someone I know very well and a friend. That person is Femi Babafemi, who is also now the spokesman for the NDLEA. And Femi did an excellent job, especially during the Atiku Halliburton time as the spokesperson for the Economic Financial Crimes Commission. Mr. Falana, why don't you tell the young Gen Z that in those days when Ribadu was heading the EFCC, the houses they seized from politicians and the cars they seized from many politicians were purchased by you. Yeah, Mr. Falana, you bought houses that were seized and you brought cars that were seized. Did you buy them during an auction? No. Did you pay the EFCC to acquire those houses? Yes. So that you can resell them. Yes or no? Yes. You bought stolen goods or proceeds of stolen goods and you resold them, Mr. Falana, and you call yourself a human rights lawyer. You see, there are journalists out here who know your background, and one of them is Kemi Lawrence, formerly Kemi Olunloyo. And the whole thing that the youth has to know is that journalism is a rough draft of history. History shapes the past and the future. The evils you have done, Mr. Falana, in the past cannot be overlooked because you're part of the rotten system. You jump into every human rights case or any case where someone's been arrested by the president or by the totalitarian regimes when you act as if you want to help them, when you're actually eating with the enemy on the side. So I feel young people, especially Gen Z, need to know your background. You were buying the cars and the houses seized in EFCC raids. And you were doing business with them. You have a long history with the EFCC. Mr. Falana, did you collect 10 million on behalf of Bobrisky to make the charges go away? The money laundering charges. That's what's at hand now, not putting Folakemi in front to sue VDM. Did you or did you not collect that money? Even if it was 1 million, did you collect any money to help Bobrisky get charges dropped? We need to know that. Secondly, Nigerian celebrities, I'm going to out you. I already don't like many of you. When I was doing journalism in Nigeria, before I retired after my 3 decades, I used to solicit donations and ask people to donate to my work. If everybody donated 1,000 naira to my work, I'll probably have millions and millions now to even open my own media house. But that didn't happen because you don't like the truth. But you went and donated a reported 70 million to Bobrisky while he was in prison. VDM detected that information. Now listen to that information. Celebrities donated 70 million to Bobrisky in prison. Who are these celebrities? When VDM exposed that, that was the tip of the iceberg. Fisayo Shoyombo did an investigation to find out that 3 weeks after he went to prison, he was moved out. What I detected from this 70 million donation to Bobrisky in prison is, why did they donate that money to him in the prison? Did they donate that money to crowdfund his bribes? 15 million for the EFCC, 10 million for Falana, 3 million for VIP section of the prison. Where is this coming from? And Bobrisky is still lying. Who are the celebrities that gave Bobrisky money in the prison? I need to know every one of them. If you know who they are, into my DM on Instagram or my email, kemiolunlawyer444@gmail.com. I need to know the celebrities. I don't want rubbish information, okay? I don't want to tarnish or defame anybody. I don't do that nonsense. I want to know exactly where all that money came from, because we're not talking about this. We're talking about Falana. We're talking about their lawsuit that they used to blind all of us because they're a cartel. The FFC, I named them, Falana Family Cartel. They are a cartel. A mother, a father, a daughter, a son, harassing Nigerians because the truth wants to come out. Mr. Falana, you have been buying stolen goods for a long time and selling houses and selling cars that you brought from the EFCC, destroying people's lives. When has the EFCC had a real trial for young people? Or you think I'm stupid? I was in Port Harcourt prison with many EFCC inmates. And when we went to court and they went on that stand, all these cases had no credibility. The only ones that really got convicted were the oil thieves, the young boys who will go to the oil thing and steal oil. And they're stealing that oil for politicians. They get caught, they have to go to EFCC court. The federal court that I went to for my case in the Biomis case, I saw a lot of them on the stands. Ordinarily, they can't prosecute many of them. Look at the boys that were arrested in Delta. Bright Edafe, spokesman PPRO. Why are we not training this young man on computers and tech, like I said on Hush Puppy, into fire?